Audio John Vincent, and my part in our group is the meaning of biodiversity.
The meaning of biodiversity. Biodiversity encompasses the variety of life forms on Earth, including differences in species, genes, and ecosystems. These levels are interrelated and affect each other. Species diversity refers to the different types of species. Genetics diversity involves variation within species, and ecosystem diversity represent the range of habitats and ecological functions. Biodiversity plays a vital role in maintaining healthy ecosystems and offers crucial services such as clean air, water, and climate stability. Safeguarding biodiversity is essential for the survival of all life, including humans. So, what is biodiversity? Biodiversity or biological diversity refers to the variety of life on Earth, encompassing the different species, their genetic makeup, and the ecosystems they inhabit, all of which are interconnected and vital for maintaining a healthy planet.
My name is Rose Antomampo from BSIT-1I. The types of biodiversity. Biodiversity is often categorized into three main types: genetic diversity, variation within a species, species diversity, variety of a species, and ecosystem diversity, variety of ecosystems. First one, genetic diversity. This refers to the variation in genes within and between population of a species, which is crucial for adaptation and resilience. Example, the different breeds of dogs, each with unique physical traits and behaviors, demonstrate genetic diversity within the Canis lupus familiaris species. Second one, species diversity. This encompasses the variety of species in a given area, including both the number of species, richness, and their relative abundance, species evenness. Example, a coral reef ecosystem exhibit high species diversity, hosting a wide array of marine organisms, including colorful corals, diverse fish species, sea turtles, and countless invertebrates. And the third one is ecosystem diversity. This refers to the variety of ecosystem, including different habitats, communities, and ecological processes in their interactions. Example, the Earth's ecosystem showcase an incredible diversity of habitats, from the towering peaks of the Himalayas to the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, each supporting unique ensembles of species adapted to their specific environmental conditions. Biodiversity distribution. Biodiversity, the variety of life on Earth, is not evenly distributed. It's higher in the tropics and decreases toward the poles, influenced by factors like climate, geography, and habitat diversity. Climate, temperature, precipitation, and seasonally play a significant role in determining where different species can thrive. Geography, landmass distribution. Mountains and other geographical features create barriers and habitats that influence biodiversity. Geological history. The history of a region's geology and climate can impact the types of species that have evolved and are present. Ecosystem productivity. Areas with high productivity like rainforests tend to support greater biodiversity. Interaction between species. Competition, predation, and other interactions between species can also influence their distribution and abundance.
Hello, good day to all that are watching the video. This is Group 5 and this is the group presentation of the topic that is in the subject Science, Technology and Society titled The Biodiversity and the Healthy Society. This is the chapter 9 and this is in the page of 139 in the book. Today we'll be tackling on all about what is in biodiversity and why is it important in our society. Without further ado, we shall now begin the video. Hello, my name is Ignacio Abelar Joshua and this is Biodiversity Hotspots. And so we'll start with what is biodiversity all about. So biodiversity is a short phrase for biological diversity. It refers to the variety of life from all levels, including genetic diversity within species, the different species themselves, and the variety of ecosystems, all of which are interconnected and vital for a healthy planet. It basically means all different kinds of life you will find in one area, like variety of plants, animals, fungi, and even microorganisms that make up the natural world. So, what is biodiversity hotspots? So, these are regions in the world that have exceptionally high biodiversity. Many endemic species that are not found only on certain that are only found. On certain parts of the world, and a significant number of threatened or endangered species. Around the world, only 36 areas are qualified as biodiversity hotspots, which only represents about 2.5% of Earth's land surface. But they support more than half the world's plant species that are endemics or only found on certain places on Earth, and nearly 43% of birds, mammals, reptiles, and amphibians are endemics. So, how does a region qualify as a biodiversity hotspot? So, for a region to be qualified as a biodiversity hotspot, it needs to meet two strict criteria. So, one, the region must have at least 1,500 vascular plants as endemic, so only in their local area, meaning it should have a high percentage of plant life that is found nowhere else in the world. And two, it must also have a 30% or less of its original natural vegetation. In other words, it must be threatened or endangered. Where are the world's biodiversity hotspots? So there are currently 36 regions based on my research as of today that are qualified as a biodiversity hotspots. The continent that have the most hotspots that are mentioned is Southeast Asia and Asia Pacific, which have 9. Philippines is included as a hotspot in Southeast Asia. These are followed by Africa with 8, South America with 5, North and Central America with 4, South Asia with 3, East Asia, West Asia with 2, Central Asia with 1, Europe 1, and the Caribbeans with 1. So this is the world map of biodiversity hotspot. As you can see, most of the biodiversity hotspots that we have today are mostly all in places that have access in the ocean. So if you can see the North America all the way to the central and to the south of Brazil, Chile, and Argentina right there. And the Philippines is actually part of the biodiversity hotspot because we have a lot of native plants and endangered species. So, why are biodiversity hotspots so important? So they are crucial for containing high concentration of unique and endangered species. So if you have like a purpose to visit one of the countries, you will want to see their native native species and plants that only found in those regions, and these are vitals for providing ecosystem services like clean water, food and climate regulations. All are essential for human like us and ecosystem health. They also provide vital ecosystem services like climate regulation, shade, food, clean water, soil, and pollination. So, with this, we'll share a word the quote from Edward O. Wilson: biodiversity is our most valuable but least appreciated resource. So, this is the end of this lesson. We shall now proceed to the next part. Hello, this is the interaction of the three types of biological diversity. So, we'll go with the introduction. Biodiversity refers to the variety of life on Earth. There are three types of biodiversity. These are genetic, species, and ecosystem diversity. These interact to maintain balance in our nature and ecosystem. There are three types of genetics. These are genetic diversity, species diversity, and last is ecosystem diversity. So we'll start with genetic diversity. Genetic diversity is a variation of genes within a species. This increases their adaptability, enhances disease resistance. Example of these are different breeds of dogs and different human traits. So for example, for human traits is different eye color, different resistance to cold or heat, and so on and so forth. And next, we have the species diversity. These are the variety of species within an ecosystem. These ensures ecosystem stability and resilience. Example of these are coral reef with fish, corals, and marine plants. So this is like a place within an ecosystem. This ensures that species have the stability and the chances of survivability and resilience. And the example given are coral reefs that gives home and protection to fish, corals, and marine plants. Last is the ecosystem diversity. Ecosystem diversity is a variety of ecosystems in a region. These provides diverse habitats and supports ecological processes. Examples of these are rainforests, oceans, deserts, and wetlands. So in many regions there are different types of ecosystems. Some in the north they have wetlands, some forests or snow. Some near the equator have more on rainforests, deserts, so on and so forth. These these ecosystems uh, give survivability to other species, and they learn how to adapt in these extreme measures. So how do they react? So genetic diversity helps species survive and adapt, and species diversity ensures ecosystem functions like the food chain. And the ecosystem diversity provides habitats like home, shelter, protection to other predators in the land. So, importance of protecting biodiversity. These prevent species extinctions, maintain ecological balance, ensures resources for the future, and ways to help conservation, reducing pollution, and sustainable practices. And so, conclusion: biodiversity is essential for life on Earth. Genetic, species, and ecosystem diversity are interconnected. Protecting biodiversity ensures a healthy planet, and everything in nature is connected. Protect biodiversity, protect life. So that's all in this lesson. We shall head down next to the next part. Hello again, this is the Threats of Biodiversity. My name is Ignacio Abelar Joshua, and maybe in the last lessons I'll be the one discussing all. Without further ado, we shall now begin with the habitat loss and degradation. So, this is the most significant threat of all in the ecosystem. The conversion of natural habitats for agriculture, urbanization, and infrastructure development destroys ecosystems and displaces species. So, the building of us people, like for agriculture, for urbanization, like other provinces are making more cities, and infrastructure development like more buildings, more businesses that displaces all these species that uh, makes that place their home, which could critically endanger them. Deforestation, particularly in tropical rainforest, is a major contributor. So next is pollution. Air, water, and soil pollution contaminate ecosystems, harming or killing species. Acid rain caused by industrial emissions is a particularly damaging form of pollution. So the most commonly form of pollution in the world is air pollution, like carbon emissions and CO2 gases around our planet because of cars and coal factories. But pollution is very common everywhere else in the world and could harm ecosystem and possibly make other species die out, which is bad. Next is climate change. Rising temperatures, altered precipitation patterns, and ocean acidification are disrupting ecosystem and threatening species survival. Many species are unable to adapt quickly enough to these changes. Climate change is more of like a newer side, but it is very impactful to our ecosystem because the rising climates and the unpredictable weather just makes these species very hard to adapt to the climate, which overall impacts their survivability. And last is overexploitation, unsustainable harvesting of natural resources, including overfishing, hunting, and logging, depletes population beyond their capacity to recover. So overexploitation is around many years, even in the 1800s, where some species are still alive, but due to overfishing, overhunting, and logging, made these species incredibly threatened or incredibly critically endangered, and some of them even got extinct because of human activities, like right here, overhunting and overfishing and logging. So this is the end of this lesson, and we shall move on to the next lesson. Hello again, this is Abel Joshua G. Ignacio, the leader of Group 5, and today this is the second to last lesson of the Biodiversity and the Health of Society. Today, in this lesson, we are discussing about extinct and endangered species. So, first, what is the meaning of extinct and endangered species? So, endangered species means that a certain kind of species that is in the risk of extinction, closing to disappearing from the planet. These are species that are threatened by ways of human activities like habitat destruction, pollution, and overhunting. And next is extinct species comes after once the species is no longer has no living individual anywhere in the world. Once it reaches this stage, the species cannot be brought back to life nor to be seen walking on this planet ever again. So, what is the difference between threatened species and endangered species? So threatened species are species that still has a good amount of population, but in their current state may be able to be endangered in the foreseeable future. These species are still at risk of extinction, but not as much as an endangered species. Meanwhile, endangered species are the species that have an extremely low population, so low that they are in risk of imminent extinction if not cared for. So, extinct and endangered animals here in the Philippines, this updated 2025. There are a lot of endangered species here in the Philippines, but the most eye-catching from all of the species are the national bird, the Philippine eagle, the tamaral, the Philippine crocodile, the hawksbill sea turtle, all of which are critically endangered based on the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Currently, there are no animals that are declared extinct in the Philippines this year 2024 and 2025. And so, Why addressing these extinct and endangered species important? Addressing these extinct and endangered species is very crucial for maintaining the biodiversity, preserving ecosystem health, and ensuring the long-term sustainability of our planet for the future generations. They play essential roles in maintaining the balance of their ecosystems and provide valuable resources for human population. It is also important to know some some of these species may get extinct by means of our own actions. So it is important to understand what led some species to extinct in the past. So this is a quote for Jeffrey Musaif Masson. Animals are, like us, endangered species on an endangered planet, and we are the ones who are endangering them, it and ourselves. They are innocent sufferers in a hell of our making. That is all in this lesson. We shall now proceed to the last and final lesson of this chapter in the book. Hello again, my name is Ignacio Bilar Joshua, and this is the last lesson of the chapter, The Conservation of Biodiversity. We'll start with the conservation of biodiversity. Humans can be smarter about how we utilize our oceans, freshwaters, and land resources, how energy, food, and other necessities are produced. Scientists have the knowledge and competence to shift towards a better future for both people and nature to coexist. Experts are already discovering new methods to feed humanity's growing population, meet its energy demands, and manage its global water supply. The need for governments to commit to cease the destruction, begin reversing the loss, and start restoring nature to more sustainable levels is the only key. So these are the solutions of conserving biodiversities. First is biodiversity inventories. This is a formal catalog and documents of species, their occurrence and distribution within defined geographic area, aiming to understand and manage the region's biodiversity. Next is conserving biodiversity in protected habitats. There are two types. These are in situ conservation and ex situ conservation. So in situ conservation, it protects species within their natural habitats like natural parks, their forests, and etc. Ex situ conservation, it involves preserving them outside their natural habitats as zoos and botanical gardens. Restoration of biodiversity, it involves repairing damaged ecosystems and increased species diversity, focusing on restoring habitats, connecting fragmented areas, and promoting sustainable practices. Imparting environmental education, this involves equipping individuals with knowledge, skills, and attitudes to understand and address environmental issues, ultimately fostering responsible and sustainable behaviors. Next is enacting, strengthening, and enforcing environmental legislations. This is to establish framework that regulate human activities and their impact on the environment. This is necessary for protecting the environment and human health, robust enforcement mechanism, and public awareness. Next is reviewing the agriculture practice. To conserve our biodiversity, agricultural practices must be reviewed, like using proper practices such as crop rotation, agroforestry, organic farming, and reduced tillage, while integrating protected areas and promoting sustainable land use. Next is controlling urbanization. These involve strategies to manage its growth and impacts. This includes promoting sustainable development, investing in public transport and renewable energy, and implementing land use regulations. Next is conservation through biotechnology. These offers tools for collecting, storing, and improving genetic resources, as well as for developing sustainable agriculture practices that reduces reliance on chemicals. And last is population control. While this can be a complex and controversial, growing human population and its associated consumptions are major drivers to biodiversity loss, and addressing this could require a focus on sustainable practices and resource management. So, the future of biodiversity. By the next decade, when we'll see a historic moment when world leaders will make key decisions as regards to the environment, climate, and sustainable development. These decisions will set the agenda for the world's future. Collectively, people can help shape these global decisions and deliver a message that it's no longer acceptable to continuously ruin nature to its dark, gloomy end, and that humans can take a different and brighter path. This is a quote from Edward Osborne Wilson. Look closely at nature. Every species is a masterpiece, exquisitely adapted to the particular environment in which it has survived. Who are we to destroy or even diminish biodiversity? This is the end of the lesson and the chapter. My name again is Ignacio Abelar Joshua, and I hope you have learned a lot in this lesson and more generally in this chapter. And thank you for listening and watching.
My name is Melbert Gerald P. Flores, and I will be discussing the benefits of biodiversity. Biodiversity, the variety of life provides numerous benefits, including supporting ecosystem services, enhancing food security, regulating climate, and offering cultural and economic opportunities. Here are some benefits of biodiversity and ecosystem services. Food security. Biodiversity is crucial for a diverse and stable food supply, providing a wide range of plants and animals for human consumption. Pollination. Diverse ecosystems ensure the pollination of crops and other plants, which is essential for food production and ecosystem health. Water regulation. Biodiversity helps regulate water cycles, ensuring clean water and availability and preventing floods and droughts. Pest control. Natural predators and other biodiversity components help control pests and diseases, reducing the needs. Economic benefits. Tourism and recreation. Biodiversity attracts tourists and supports recreational activities, generating economic opportunities for local communities. Pharmaceuticals. Many medicines and therapies are derived from plants and animals, highlighting the importance of biodiversity for human health. Sustainable agriculture. Biodiversity in agricultural landscapes promote sustainable food systems, reducing environmental impact and ensuring long-term food security. Resource provision. Biodiversity provides a wide range of resources, including timber, fibers, and other materials supporting various industries. Cultural and spiritual benefits. Cultural identity. Biodiversity is intrinsically linked to cultural identity and spiritual beliefs in many societies. Recreation and aesthetics. Biodiversity provides opportunities for recreation, enjoyment of nature, and aesthetic appreciation. Education and research. Biodiversity supports scientific research and education, helping us understand the natural world and develop solutions to environmental challenges.